Augustine Prep High School. I'm Brian Knipp alongside Buddy Tarbot here on 98.7 The Coast and 987thecoast.com as we have a very special treat here, one of the bigger basketball games of the season in all of South Jersey, and even the state, really, as Middle Township traveling up the road about 45 minutes here from Richland to take on St. Augustine Prep with first place on the line in the Cape Atlantic National Conference. Big crowd here tonight, even on this snowy evening. May not be a sellout. It'll be close. The game would have been sold out by now if not for the weather. If you didn't come because of the weather, we're glad you're joining us here on the radio or on the internet, and we'll be here with you to follow this basketball game between two of the very best teams in all of South Jersey and all of the state, really. Both of these clubs are actually ranked in the top 20 in the state by the North Star. Middle Township is 17th and St. Augustine 19th. That was entering this week. And both of these teams with very impressive resumes. St. Augustine, the home team, is 12-1 overall. They are 6-1 in the Cape National Conference. Their lone loss of the season came at the hands of Middle Township back in December. It was a 20-point win for Middle, who really shot the lights out in that game at home. Middle Township comes in at 11-2 overall, 7-0 in the Cape Atlantic League. Middle's only two losses of the season are to two teams ranked among the top 5 in the state, St. Anthony and Atlantic City. So, needless to say, buddy, after I said all that, I think it's easy to figure out that both of these teams are pretty darn good.
Absolutely. They're pretty darn good, Ryan, and they are very, very well coached. Paul Rodeo, the coach of the Hermits, is one of the top in the history of New Jersey, as is Tommy Baraka. These guys do a great job. Tom Baraka, the head coach of Middle Township High School. They really get the most out of their players. The players play the right way. They share the ball. When you watch these two teams go at it, it's really a fun game. You talked about that game that happened earlier in the year when the Hermits traveled down to Courthouse to take on the Panthers. And it was a close game till about midway through the second quarter. And Middle Township, and as you had said, they hit everything that they put up that night. And they were in the passing lanes defensively. They did all the little things right. They got the loose balls. The only thing they didn't do right, or do well, I should say, when you win by 20, it's pretty hard to say they did totally right. But that being said, was keep their Hermits off the offensive glass. And that has been the Achilles heel for Middle Township all year. And that's an area the Hermits come into this game much taller, a very athletic ball club, and Middle Township's going to do a good job tonight boxing out, not allowing the Hermits second and third opportunity. As you had said, when you look at the 2012-2013 Boys Online by Prime Events, our good friend Tom Williams, Middle Township in all of South Jersey is ranked number 5 with that record of 11-2. And St. Augustine comes in ranked number 7 with a record of 12-1. That lone loss being to the Panthers. So you look at Middle's 2 losses. St. Anthony, number 1 team in the state, and to Atlantic City, the number 1 team in South Jersey.
Now, what this game means in the Cape National Conference is this: if Middle Township wins it, they have a real stranglehold on the conference. They would go to 8-0. The Prep would drop to 6-2, and everybody in the conference would have at least 2 losses. Hamilton kind of nipping at both teams' heels, although Hamilton has lost to Middle Township and the Prep already this year. If St. Augustine wins it, it's a first-place tie in the National Conference, and it'll go all the way down to the finish, and they may very well end up finish tied for the conference title. Of course, Cape Atlantic League playoff seeding is on the line. I wanted to get to this note. Buddy mentioned the coaches. These are the 2 winningest coaches in Cape Atlantic League history, and these records are unbelievable when you think about it. Paul Rodeo has 770 wins against only 214 losses in his 36 years. Tom Baraka is 658 and 207 in his 32nd season. So, you know, you got over 1,400 wins and 68 years of coaching experience out on the floor here tonight, buddy.
Yeah, and again...
And 2 staffs who have been around with their respective head coaches for a long time. as well.
I was having that conversation earlier today. The fact of the longevity and the way former players and particularly with St. Augustine, with Tommy Bracco and his coaching staff, those guys have been together a long time.
All right, back after this, they're going to play the national anthem momentarily. We'll take a quick break. Back after this on 98.7 The Coast and 987thecoast.com. Back at St. Augustine Prep, Brian Kniff, Buddy Tarbot here on 98.7 The Coast. Of course, we also have our live video feed courtesy of Matt over on 987thecoast.com. Middle Township and St. Augustine Prep, two of the very best teams in the Cape Atlantic League and South Jersey and the state, set to match up here in Richmond. And one thing that we do want to note here is that the starting lineup, Mark Weir, normal starter for Middle Township, is not in the lineup for the town at least another couple of weeks with the knee injury. But in his place has been Jake Cowan, and in his last two games, he's bettered his career high in both games. He had 16 in one and 22 in the other. So it's certainly a capable replacement for starters for Middle. They are all seniors. Tom Catnoso, Jeff Shelton in the backcourt. Tommy Bracco, the head coach's son, will play a swing position. And then down low, it's Micah Moore and Jake Cowan, as we said. Middle Township will wear the away orange uniforms trimmed in white and black. St. Augustine Prep wearing the home whites trimmed in blue and dark blue and light blue. Their starters, at guard, Mike Freeman and Dave Sullivan. They are the two lead scorers at around 15 a game. Both seniors. Joe Gatto, a junior, will play a swing position, and then down low is the senior Blake Rossell and a freshman Mike Vastoria. And three-man officiating crew here tonight. It is Billy Martin, Frank Brazil, and if you're watching online on 987thecoast.com, the lone official who actually had hair on his head, George McLean.
Yeah, there was some polishing going on in the pregame, I'm sure, amongst a couple of years.
And speaking of the officials, he did get an indication that they were seeing some moisture spots on the floor at the start of this game during the warm-up. So obviously that's something to keep an eye on. They want to really dry that up.
And the problem being with snowing outside, fans are dragging, they're coming in with wet feet, snow on their shoes when they're walking the sidelines to get to their seating. And therefore, the players go wide. Obviously, they step in parts of the outer court that are wet and bring them onto the floor. So we see a lot of Tony Ocanelli, a long-time teacher and coach here. He's over there working diligently trying to get the sidelines clear. And we're seeing that tonight. Hopefully, that does not affect the play, and even more so, hopefully, it doesn't cause some sort of injury.
If you're watching online, St. Augustine Prep wearing the white uniforms as you see them take the floor. They are moving from right to left across your computer screen. Middle Township, as they come out, they are wearing the away oranges. And it'll be Joe Gatto jumping it up against Mike Moore. And we've seen Gatto play a couple times, buddy. He can get up in the air. Ball is in the air. Gatto wins it. Got it ahead to Rossell. And the Prep will start its offense. Greenman picked up man-to-man by Catnoso. Swings it over to Sullivan, back to Greenman. And they go back to Vastoria. Now Greenman will reset, calls a different play. Flips it over to Sullivan. Sullivan goes to Vastoria on the wing. Vastoria backdoor pass to Greenman, who was open but wasn't looking for the ball. The ball was knocked away. It's still loose. Greenman nearly had it and fell to the ground. Middle comes up with it. Here's Catnoso for three.
And that's the way Middle Township started off game number one.
Now we're going to have a foul call against Sullivan, away from the ball, going back up the floor, pushing Tommy Bracco to the floor. And that's going to give Middle Township the basketball.
And that is going to be the first personal foul against Dave Sullivan. 6'2" senior forward picks up his first, team's first. Not the type of foul Coach Rodia wants to see, but in transition.
Here's Catnoso again on the wing. Gets into the top of the lane, goes to Shelton, top of the key. Spins away from the defender, goes to the right side. to play. Dribble handoff to Catnoso. Catnoso goes to Baracco. Fakes a handoff, goes to the basket, got it back.
Good ball fake that time, Brian, by Tommy Baracco, 6'2" senior guard. He faked the handoff. The defense kind of went with it, and he was able to drive right down the middle of the lane, lay it up, back and in. With the second team foul against St. Augustine. First personal foul on Joe Gatto.
And like the layup attempt, Baracco rolls home the free throw. And it's 6-0 Middle Township, 6:35 to go first quarter. Glad you could join us on 98.7 The Coast and 987thecoast.com. Here's Astoria. Gatto in the corner to Sullivan. Sullivan for three, and it's good. That was a deep one. He got some air on that shot.
Yes, he did. That ball came down with a couple of snow flurries on it. He shot that one up into the clouds. Great follow through. And a first shot attempt for the Hermits. 6:10 to go. It's Middle Township 6.
Baracco fakes a three, goes to the basket, didn't get the friendly roll this time. The rebound to Gatto, and now the front wants to run. Freeman drops it across the timeline, now backs it away. Takes it to the right wing. Good entry pass into the post of Astoria. Kicks it across to Rossell. Dips in, no good. It's a 6-5 game.
And that's what we talked about during the pregame, Brian. That's what Middle Township does not want to give the Hermits second and third opportunities. And right there, Joe Gatto not boxed out, crashes the glass and tips it home.
Baracco to the basket, and he banks one home from about 6 feet away. He's being very aggressive early. Freeman dips in, kicks out. Sullivan another three. Knocks it out.
And again, another wide-open look by Dave Sullivan.
Tied at 8. Shelton quickly up the floor. Took some contact. No good on the shot. As Rossell did a good job holding his ground. Up the quickly. And Dave Sullivan's got 8 early points, and the threat now is on a 10-2 run after Middle opened up a 6-0 lead to start the game. Baracco on the wing. They challenge him to shoot the three. He does it short. Gatto to rebound for the threat. Here goes Freeman across the timeline. Left side to Astoria. Steps in. 12-foot jumper is long. The rebound is lost out of bounds by St. Augustine. Middle was fortunate there as Baracco and Shelton were looking at each other in the ball. And the threat came in. And nearly came up with the ball, but it went out of bounds.
The last basket by David Sullivan was for 2.
And now we have a talk at the scorer's table. They are changing Sullivan's one of his 2 earlier three-pointers to a 2. Officials stated that he had his foot on the line and there was no indication that there was a three-point shot made. So they've taken a point off the board for the threat, but they still lead 9-8. 4:33 to go in the first quarter. Here's Shelton, top of the lane, goes back to Catnoso. Catnoso, head and shoulders fake, trying to get to the rim, and he is fouled by Greenman. Catnoso will go to the line for 2 shots.
Mike Greenman, number 3 for St. Augustine, 5'9" senior guard. He picks up his first, 3rd team foul. St. Augustine with 4:25 to go here in the opening quarter. They lead Middle Township 9-8.
Free throw is good by Catnoso. One thing we wanted to note, buddy, Middle probably doesn't lose much with Greer out of the lineup in terms of Cowan going in for him. But what it does do is it hurts Mill's depth because now they don't have a player of Cowan's ilk coming off the bench.
Absolutely.
Catnoso made both free throws. It's 10-9 Middle now.
Jake Cowan coming off the bench gives him a lot of spark. He can get up in the air. He runs the floor well, and he can really throw down. He's had some nice dunks this year.
Brett with the basketball. Here's Gatto being hounded by Moore. Lost the dribble, and then Moore had Gatto kind of in a bad spot and bailed him out by reaching in and fouling him.
Yeah, that time Moore picks up his first. It's going to be the first personal foul against the Panthers here in the basketball game this evening. 4:06 to go in the opening quarter. St. Augustine 10-9.
Here's Greenman with it.
I think Michael Moore got a
back to Gatto. Holding top of the key, swings it across on the baseline to Bastoria. Look down low, Russell's layup.
Great
Block
look.
the clock, bounce pass.
Great look by the freshman, 6'4", Mike Bastoria. From the left block to the right block, he found Roussel. Roussel lays it in. St. Augustine back on top, 11-10. 3:30 to play, first quarter.
Cowan goes to Farraco. Farraco faked the three. Dribble drive, kicks out. Cowan now to Catnoso on the right wing. Catnoso gets into the top of the lane, goes to Shelton. Shelton dips in, now kicks to Farraco. Three ball is short. The rebound taken by Greenman in the corner, and he's trying to push. Across the timeline, down the lane, and then brings it out to the wing. Sullivan with it. Sullivan takes it right side into the lane, and he is fouled by Moore. That's going to be Moore's second foul. There's 5 minutes into the game here. And Trey Greer, it looks like, is going to check in for him. Ryan Seward is coming in for St. Augustine Prep. So first subs for both teams come at the 3:03 mark in the first quarter. St. Augustine on top, 11-10.
And as you said right there, Michael Moore, the 6'3" senior forward, he picks up his second. Middle Township's second team foul.
Freeman, backdoor lob to Gatto.
Yes, they did. Great execution on that out-of-bounds play by the Hermits. Now they are up 3, 13-10. 2:40 to go here in the first quarter.
Callan to Catnos, fake, got into the top of the lane, shut off, goes back to Callan. Callan to Catnoso again, spins away from the pressure, and then nice scooping layup by Catnoso, and he knocks it home. First basket for Middle in a while. It's 13-12 St. Augustine, 2:23 to go. Freeman lost it. Looked like he almost maybe wanted to throw a pass, buddy, and then the passing lane shut off. He tried to pull a string on it and lost it out of bounds.
That's going to be the third turnover against St. Augustine here in the first quarter.
Astoria checks back in. He replaces Rossell. And Middle has the ball with a chance to retake the lead. 2:15 to go first quarter. St. Augustine up 13-12.
And you won't see Michael Green make unforced turnovers like that very often.
There's Trey Greer, who just checked in a little bit ago. Goes over to Farraco. Farraco dribble handoff with Shelton. Steps in. He's shut off nicely by Sullivan. Back to Catnoso. Catnoso crossover dribble, takes it to the left side, goes to Cowan. Tees up a three. Off the front of the rim, no good. Good box out by Gatto. He retrieves the loose rebound in the corner. Freeman got it to Bastoria. Bastoria hands across to Seward. Seward, though, was out of bounds as he accepted the pass. Now to turn it back over to Middle Township with 1:43 to go in the first quarter.
That would be the fourth turnover against the Hermits. And Brian, an interesting note here, 1:43 to go. Middle calls a quick timeout.
All right, we're going to take a quick break as well. Back after this on 98.7 The Coast. Back at St. Augustine, 13-12. The Prep on top of Middle Township, 1:43 to go in the first quarter. High school basketball on 98.7 The Coast at 98.7 The Coast on 98.7thecoast.com. Brian Knipp alongside Buddy Tarbot and Matt Ulmer providing the live internet feed for you.
I was going to say, Brian, before that timeout, an interesting note, Middle Township does not have a defensive rebound. And part of that is because the Hermits have only missed 2 shots.
Cowan left open for three, and he knocks it down.
St. Augustine has only missed twice.
Brent, though, they run a great secondary break. Rossell got behind the defense, caught the pass and laid it in. They're tied at 15 with 1:15 to go in the quarter.
You're not going to miss many shots if you're getting layups or execution like that.
Yes. Trey Greer with it, top of the key, goes over to Farraco, fakes a three. Dribble penetrates, floater in the lane, got the roll. Farraco with 7 points in the first quarter for Middle, 17-15. Panthers back on top, just They get it down low to Vastoria. Couldn't handle the pass, but saved it in bounds. Got it to Sewell, knocked down the 18-foot jumper.
Heads-up play that time by the freshman.
That's a lot of points in a quarter for both of these teams, buddy. Against one another. You wouldn't expect them to put 17 apiece on the board.
Both of these teams like to be a little more deliberate offensively. They're kind of slugging it out a little bit here in the first 8 minutes. 25 seconds to go.
Middle holding for one shot here.
Possession arrow is in their favor.
St. Augustine is allowing them to hold for one as well. Rocco with it, working against Green. 11 seconds to go. The ball screen from Greer, takes it to the right side, hands off the count. Makes it free, goes to Shelton. Shelton's going to have to hurry. Drives baseline and lost it out of bounds. 1.3 to go in the quarter.
Middle Township holds the ball for nearly 40 seconds, trying to get the last shot, and then they turn it over. The first turnover of the game against the Panthers.
Kevin Kennedy comes into the game for the prep. St. Augustine just gets it in and they hold it and they don't get a shot away. And at the end of a very entertaining first quarter, Township 17, St. Augustine Prep 17, back in Richland 98.7 The Coast and 98.7 TheCoast.com. Back in Richland, St. Augustine Prep High School, Brian Kniff, Buddy Carbot at the end of one quarter of play in this Cape Atlantic National Conference contest. It's Middle Township 17 and St. Augustine Prep 17. Middle Township will have the ball and start the second quarter.
Ryan, in that first quarter, St. Augustine shot 8 for 10 from the floor. They were 7 of 9 inside the arc, 1 for 1 from beyond. They had 6 rebounds as a team, 5 defensive, 1 offensive. They did not get to the foul line when you turned it over 4 times.
You shoot 8 for 10, don't you think you should probably have a lead? That stat kind of jumps off the chart there. Here's Middle with possession. Baracco enters it into post to Moore. Turns, fall away jumper, no good. A rebound for Rossell. Here's Greenman for the prep. Down the lane, floater, blocked by Callan. Callan's a deceptive athlete. He can get off his feet in a hurry. Catnoso shut off nicely by Greenman, but steps back and knocks down Greenman did a great job getting back defensively, and Catnoso just made a better play.
You can see what the game plan is here tonight. St. Augustine is trying to take Tommy Catnoso out of the offensive flow. They're doing a good job of base guarding. They're rotating on him. Whoever's got Tommy Catnoso is trying to deny him the ball and making him work his tail off. For Catnoso's credit, the 5'11 senior guard, he's got 9 points, as he is 2 for 2 from inside the arc, is 1 for 1 from beyond, and 2 for 2 from the foul line. So he's only shot the ball 3 times, but he's got 9 points. He is maximizing his offensive production.
Without question. 19-17, there was a little bit of a delay as they wiped some perspiration off the floor. Greenman for 3, that's no good. Middle Township a 2-point lead in the basketball now. Here's Shelton, top of the key. Goes to Farraco on the right wing. Farraco guarded by Joe Gatto. Gets it back to Catnoso, who's picked up by Mike Greenman. Flips it to Farraco. Farraco fakes the pass, kicks it out to Callan. Callan thought about it for 3, then pulled the trigger back and then hands the ball back off to Shelton, top of the key. Shelton goes to Catnoso. Catnoso, head and shoulders fake. Into the lane, kicks out to Shelton. Shelton holds. Walks it back out. This is the one thing about Middle Township, buddy. They are so patient when they don't get an open shot right away. Here is Callan on the right wing. Lost the dribble, got it to Moore. Top of the key, Moore over to Farraco.
When you have 5 seniors out on the floor that have been coached that way for 4 years.
Great look by Farraco to Shelton. Had a shot blocked from behind. Got his own rebound and blocked again. Sullivan got both blocks. And then Middle will have it as the second block shot ends up out of bounds. A very large, enthusiastic Richland Rowdy section over there on the other side, buddy.
Always an entertaining move.
Farraco having a little bit of trouble getting it inbounds, but now flips it all the way out high toward the division line. Catnoso. Coach Tom Ferracco calls a play from the sideline, and now it's Jacob Cowan. Cowan bounces over to Catnosa. Catnosa, 3-ball from deep, no good. Ferracco, the rebound on the block. Got it to a cutting Cowan, off the glass, no good, but foul. They call a blocking foul. Got it. That's going to send Jacob Cowan on the line.
That's going to be a big foul line. That's going to be the second personal foul on the 6'4" junior, Joe Gatto. His second, team's fourth.
The pace slowed down, has slowed down a little bit to start this second quarter. Cowan, good on the first free throw. He's got 4 points. Greenman comes in and Gatto steps out.
Nothing but the bottom of the net that time for Jake Cowan. 5:48 to go here in the first half.
And remember, Micah Moore from middle is playing with 2 fouls right now. With Greer's injury, Lamar Greer's injury, Cowan's in the second foul. St. Augustine certainly has an advantage in depth tonight. Here's Seward on the baseline, drives and is bumped and fouled by Shelton as he went by. And Brett will have possession. That's only the 3rd team foul in the middle.
And that's the first personal foul on Darryl Shelton. 5'10" senior guard, and as you just said, 3rd team foul here in the first half against the Panthers.
Greenman with the ball. 35 feet from the basket, guarded by Catnosa. Now takes it right side to Rossell. Rossell really hounded by Cowan. Flips it back to Seward. Seward top of the key. Guarded by Ferracco. Seward down the lane. Kicks out to Sullivan. Sullivan into the lane. Tough runner, no good. Rebound to Moore. And Moore is injured. And he's going to be called for traveling as he fell to the ground with possession. Tom Ferracco is incensed that there wasn't a foul, but I think probably in the mind of the official, buddy, was that Moore got bumped by his own player and fell to the ground.
And he definitely fell at a tough angle. He came down a little off balance. And truthfully, I don't know if anybody really touched him.
I agree.
It could be the, again, the wetness of the floor.
Here's Seward. Top of the man, he's bumped. I'll say that's before the shot, bumped by Ferracco. And that'll give the Prep possession underneath. 5:13 to go, second. 20-17, Middle Township on top.
And that's going to be the first personal foul, number 22. 6'2" senior guard, Tommy Ferracco. His first, team's 4th.
Bastoria gets it into Seward. He walks it back out. This is some quick instruction by Coach Paul Rodeo, and now he's ready to go. Dribbles toward the top of the
Cowan
key.
and himself are really banging down low.
Here's Russell, right elbow jumper.
Russell pops out from all that contact to the elbow on the right side. But down low, him and Cowan and himself, Brian, are really having a physical night.
Here's Ferracco. Might have gotten away with a walk there as he stumbled while he was throwing the pass. Middle Township retains possession. Here's Sullivan, goes to Catnosa. Catnosa using Ferracco's ball screen, takes it to the left wing. Now it's Ferracco at the top of the key. Good look down low to Cowan, but he couldn't handle the pass. The pass was thrown a bit behind him. It goes through his hands and out of bounds.
And that is going to be the 3rd turnover against Middle Township. 4:20 to go here in the first half. Middle Township 20, St. Augustine 19.
Seward down the lane, off the glass, no good. Rebound batted around. Shelton came away with it, saved it in bounds to Cowan. Flips off to Catnosa. Catnosa races down the lane. Oh, what a spin off the glass is good. Greenman up quickly for St. Augustine, kicks it across to Sullivan. That's an offensive foul. That's a great defensive play by Darrell Shelton. Stepped in and took that contact in the chest. A good call by the official to get that offensive foul.
And again, as you said, a great play by Darrell Shelton. And that's what you teach. He took the baseline away. He moved his feet. He slid over, was in position, and Dave Sullivan tried to go through him.
30-second timeout. We're going to keep it here for this one. 22-19, Middle Township on top. Give us a chance to tell you we have a couple of programming changes with our high school coverage. Tomorrow, we are going to be broadcasting the Middle Township Wildwood game at 6 o'clock from the Warrior Gymnasium on 98.7 The Coast and 987thecoast.com. And then on Tuesday, we're going to have Wildwood playing Cape May Tech at 6 o'clock from Cape May Tech. And that'll also be on 98.7 The Coast and 987thecoast.com. More stuff going on around the Cape Atlantic League. You got the Prime Events Girls Shootout this weekend at Holy Spirit. Some great girls basketball going on all weekend, tomorrow and Sunday at Holy Spirit. You can go to primeevents.net to get all the information on that tournament. Middle Township leads St. Augustine 22-19. Out of the timeout, the Panthers have the basketball. Tanner Kerr into the game for the first time from middle. Goes to Farraco, top of the key. Farraco dribbles. Backdoor look to Catnoso. Left-handed layup, no good. Kerr the rebound. And a good look to Callan, but just put way too much on it. Goes out of bounds. The officials come together. They're going to try to get this right. And it's going to go to St. Augustine.
And again there, Tanner Kerr trying to be a little too unselfish. He should have just powered the ball up himself. But he thought he would be able to funnel the ball through to Callan, threw it too hard. And that will be the fourth against Middle here in the first half.
Russell for three, off the back iron, no good. Sullivan, the offensive rebound to the basket. He is fouled by Kerr. And Sullivan will get 2 shots. This will represent St. Augustine's Prep's first trip to the foul line. 3:16 to go in the first half.
Middle Township is 4 of 5 here in the first half from the charity stripe, and as you said, the first opportunity for St. Augustine at the line. Sullivan hits nothing but the bottom of the net. That last foul on Tanner Kerr, that was his first, team's 5th.
Second free throw is also good. Sullivan has 9 points. The lead have come out of the game momentarily. Replaced by Kevin Kennedy. Trey Greer will come in from middle as Jay Callan will head to the bench for a breather.
That last foul that was called in the prep line before we went to the timeout was called on Dave Sullivan, the 6'2 senior forward. He picked up his second. It was the 5th team foul. So good move here by Coach Paul Rodeo to get his senior, especially because he's got 9 points.
Pass by middle, stolen away by Freeman. Freeman up to the basket. The layup is good.
Good job that time by Mike Freeman, using his body to hold off Tanner Kerr.
And St. Augustine back on top, 23-22. Farraco spinning into the lane. The basket shot is blocked. Foul is called for Seward. And Farraco will go to the line for 2 shots.
That's going to be the first personal foul from Brian Seward. Yes, the St. Augustine bench, very obviously coaching staff. I think Tommy Farraco got away with a little puff as he drove down the lane. He was able to use his right hand to hook Seward to get by him. Then he goes up and draws the foul. That just puts a little salt in the wound. One ref didn't get the call they thought they should have gotten. And then Tommy Farraco draws the contact and he gets to the foul line.
He now has 8 points as he made that free throw. It's tied at 23, 2:41 to go second quarter. Second free throw is on the way, and that one is good. Middle Township is 6 for 7 from the line tonight. They are back on top, 24-23, 2:35 to go in the second quarter.
What a good high school basketball game we have for you this evening.
Bastoria hands off to Seward. Seward bounces to Freeman. Freeman looking in the post. Good job by Tanner Kerr, fronting the prep player. Seward right down the lane and lays it up and in.
Yeah, we want to talk about, as you said, going down the lane. He used easy pass because there was no contested defense there.
Catnoso fakes a dribble handoff, fires a 3. That's no good. Seward the rebound for the prep. He wants to run his team up by a point. Seward down the lane, kicks across to Russell, blocks from behind and out of bounds. And middle, or St. Augustine left possession. Cowan from middle back into the game. And Nate Siegel from Brett comes in for the first time.
Brian Seward, 6'2" junior forward, bringing a lot of energy off the bench for the Hermits, who are up 25-24. 1:55 to go here in the first half.
Russell goes back to Green. And the Brett will spread the floor a little bit here. Here's Bastorio on the right side. Dribbles across, hands off to Seward. Seward goes in the corner to Greenman. Greenman picked up by Catnosa. Greenman on the right side. Greenman now top of the key. Goes to Siegel. Swung to Seward along the baseline. That's an offensive foul. Foul right over Jake Cowan. And that was a great help side play by Cowan, but he was guarding a player in the post and then opened up and faced the offensive player. Tries to baseline, contact with the chest.
And again, Brian, Cowan moved his feet, slid, was able to get to the baseline before he was beat by getting into that help side. And that foul will be number 2 on the 6'2" junior Seward, his second.
Farraco down the lane, and he is fouled. And fortunate for middle there. And now we're going to have what we have here. Some tempers playing a little bit. And the players don't come together. It seems like maybe something was said. Looks like everything's okay. Farraco is going to go to the line for 2 shots.
And they're going to get that foul against St. Augustine here, number 14. Brian Seward. It's going to be his 3rd, Brian. Team's 8th. He's going to send Farraco to the line to shoot 2. It's been very physical in the games that have been played tight inside.
Free throw by Farraco is good. Seward will step out. Kennedy comes back in. As Buddy mentioned, Nolan Seward with Brian Seward, with the 3rd person foul. Second free throw by Farraco is also good. He's perfect from the line. 5 for 5. He's got 11 points. Now Middle's going to show some pressure. They're up 1. 1:15 to go in the quarter. Center of the floor, Greenman. Lost it momentarily. It's Shelton took it right out of his hands. Takes the ball to the right side. Basket. No good for the foul. And we'll get the line for 2 shots.
And again, St. Augustine coaching staff not happy with that call. That's going to be on the freshman, 6'4", Bastorio. He picks up his first, team's 9th. Shelton going to the line to shoot 2. There was a lot of contact there.
Shelton missed that free throw badly. 26-25, top 106 to go, second quarter.
St. Augustine staff, coaching staff, feeling that Shelton created the contact by jumping into Bastorio.
Shelton made that free throw. That's his first point. Shelton's actually Middle's leading scorer. Here's Kennedy for the prep through the middle of the floor. Flips it in the corner. 3 ball on the way by Siegel is no good. An air ball deep. Shelton with the ball, working against Kennedy. Crossover, serving baseline drive. That's an offensive foul. That's a good ball there. Kennedy wasn't really in perfect defensive position, but Shelton just, he threw his shoulder sideways into Kennedy and bumped Kennedy off his positioning, and that's the offensive foul.
And the way the calls were going against St. Augustine, and Kennedy did a great job there, because you're right, that was an easy call and the right call. Shelton picks up his second, team's 6th. 42 seconds to go first half. 27-25, middle on top.
3 ball. This time it's good by Siegel. He knocks that one down. The Brett back to the top by 1.
A good little in and out as they kick the ball in. Nate Siegel got his feet set out there on the right baseline beyond the arc and gave his team, as you said, that 1-point lead.
20 seconds to go in the period. And it looks like Middle will hold for the last attempt for a shot. 13 seconds now as Catnosa between the 2 circles. Takes the ball a little bit to the left side. Now goes to Farraco. Farraco takes it right right side. Passes it to Combs. I think he thought Cowan was going to be in the area. He wasn't. The ball sails through the lane and out of bounds. 3.2 seconds to go in the half.
Plenty of time for St. Augustine to push it up the floor.
Freeman lobs it ahead to Siegel, but he won't get a shot away before the buzzer sounds. So a very entertaining first half. The pace slowed down a bit in the second quarter. And it's 28-27, St. Augustine Prep on top. We're going to take a break. We'll come back after this on 98.7 The Coast and 98.7thecoast.com.
Check and see if you've lost your keys instead of turning in from the scorer's table.
Middle Township here at the half. Cape Atlantic National Conference Boys Basketball game here on 98.7 The Coast and 98.7thecoast.com. Your first half scoring first for St. Augustine. Dave Sullivan with 9, 6 for Blake Rossell, 4 for Joe Gatto, 4 for Brian Seward, 3 for Nate Siegel, and 2 for Mike Freeman. For Middle Township, Tom Catanoso and Tom Sirocco each have 11. Jacob Cowan has 4, and Terrell Shelton, Middle's leading scorer, has been held to just 1 point. And one thing I did want to mention, buddy, is that part of the reason why Shelton only has the 1 point is Dave Sullivan has mostly been marking him and has really done an outstanding job of limiting Shelton. Shelton hasn't even really gotten many attempts at the basket. So that's something to watch as we head towards the second half.
Well, the two players offensively that St. Augustine has singled out that they were going to go after, obviously, which, as you said, Darryl Shelton and Tommy Catanoso. And they made Catanoso, who's been a little more successful. He had 11 first half points, but every bucket he had to really, really earn. Now, that being said, statistically, what we look at here in the first half of the stat sheet, St. Augustine as a team shot 12 for 21. They were 10 for 16 inside the arc, 2 for 5 from beyond. They had 10 rebounds as a team, 8 defensive, 2 offensive. Middle did a good job, but 2 times they allowed them to get offensive rebounds. One was a putback for a bucket, and the other one got them to the foul line, which they made both free throws. They eliminated them, were able to eliminate them to advantage.
Also, I still have the keys to the Chevrolet.
The Hermits turned it over 5 times. It was 4 times in that first quarter, just once in the second quarter, when they were able to right that ship, so to speak. Middle Township shot 8 for 20 in the first half, 6 for 13 inside the arc, 2 for 7 from beyond. They had 9 rebounds as a team, 6 defensive, 3 offensive. They had no defensive rebounds in that first quarter, so all 6 defensive rebounds in period number 2. The advantage in what has kept Middle in the game, they're 9 of 11 from the foul line, and they have turned it over 5 times as well. Both teams have turned it over 5 times.
All right, so it's 28-27, St. Augustine at the half here on 98.7 The Coast and 98.7thecoast.com. Joining us now at the half is Mike McGarry from the Press of Atlantic City. Mike, the first time these two teams played, Middle Township, it seemed like they were shooting at a soccer net that night and won the game by 20. I think all of us realized it wasn't going to be a 20-point game tonight either way.
Right, I expected coming up tonight for this game for it to be anybody's game with 4 minutes to play, and we're headed in that direction. This is a much tougher place to shoot. It's tougher to shoot on the road, and you saw in the first half, Middle really didn't get its 3-point game going at all in the first half.
This is a game here, Mike, that there's all kinds of ramifications here. Obviously, in the National Conference, if Middle wins it, it's going to be hard-pressed for someone to catch them. Obviously, if the Prep wins it, it's a virtual tie. There's going to be seedings involved with the Cape Atlantic League tournament coming up. And, this is just a very, very important basketball game, in the scheme of the league this year.
Right, and it comes at a time of year, a lot of people like to focus on the big showcase events in February, but actually, this till February 1st, this is from mid-January to February 1st, is a time when teams got to grind. Like you said, that's when they establish their seedings for the state tournament and the Cape Atlantic League tournament. What happens in February at the showcase events is almost like, icing on the cake. This is the meat and potatoes of the season right here.
And, speaking of that, the rivalry here, Mike, between these two teams, Brian said it before the game during our intro, it doesn't matter the sport, but obviously the cherry on top of the cake is basketball rivalry. And in that first half, so both teams were given the game got tight on the inside. Both teams get a little physical, and they're keeping it clean. But you can see neither team's going to back down.
Right, and you know, it's two great programs. They've been going head-to-head for 25, 30 years now. Their games, it seems like every game they play is just like tonight. It's going to decide a division winner. It's going to decide, who's one of the better teams in the area. When you have a rivalry like that, it's a physical game, but I think the refs are doing a great job, playing a great game, letting them play, but not letting it get out of hand.
Mike, the Cape Atlantic League this year, there were some people before the year that kind of looked at it and said, the league looks a little down now this year. But, you look at some of these South Jersey rankings that your paper does, some of the other media outlets do, and you got 4 of the top 12 or 13 teams in South Jersey. You got 2 of them right here in Middle and the Prep. Obviously, Atlantic City right now looks like the class of the league, while with Catholics lurking. Holy Spirit hasn't been playing well, but they're certainly a formidable team. And this is a very good league at the top.
Right, I would agree with that. I think you're exactly right. I think it's a little top heavy. I think the good teams are very good. I think what's missing this year is some of the other teams that have been good in the past, or maybe a little step down.
And Ocean City, a Lower Cape May, yeah.
Those types of teams. But I think when you go to the top, the top teams, Atlantic City, Middle, they might be as good as they've been in 5 or 6 years.
One of the things that we've talked about, with Middle, Mike, and part of probably what's helped their success, since they don't have a lot of size, is that you look around South Jersey in the Cape Atlantic League, and take the Cape Atlantic League in particular, but outside of just a couple of teams, there's not a lot of size out there. The way Middle plays, it's allowing them to win a lot of games.
Yeah, and Middle, it's the old question, if a big team would present matchup problems for Middle, but with Middle's ability to shoot, spread the floor, and have 4, sometimes 5 guys on the floor who can shoot from the outside, they would cause problems for a big team, so they're able to spread the floor and sort of cause matchup problems in reverse.
And I think too, along those lines, when we're talking about some of the bigger, touched on it a little bit the other night, the fact that it depends on how the defense is dictating who the offensive star of the game for these different teams: Atlantic City, Wildwood Catholic, St Augustine, North County, Holy Spirit. The guys stepping up, what is being given to them.
Right.
And the kids are recognizing it.
Yeah, and I think that makes these teams tough to defend, that they don't just rely on one guy. Teams can gear their defense to stop that one guy, and that guy who averages 20, you hold him to 5, and then they win. Well, in Middle, tonight they're down a point here, and Joel Shelton, who was the star of the first game, I think has 1 point in the first half, and they're only down a point here. So if they were relying on the one guy, they'd be in a little trouble. But you see Morocco and Catanosa having big first halves for them.
28-27, Middle is trailing St. Augustine Prep here at the half. Mike, one thing we wanted to ask you had a story in the paper today about Wildwood girls basketball coach Dave Troiano as he approaches his 600th career win and far and away the all-time wins leader in South Jersey girls basketball history. We've got 2 coaches here in this game that have combined for over 1,400 wins. And Buddy and I were talking about this on the phone today, and sometimes I don't think we realize, and Wildwood isn't a Cape Atlantic League school, but they're a Cape Atlantic League area. This Cape Atlantic League area is packed with great coaching.
Yeah, especially when you talk Dave Troiano, Paul Rodeo, who was 5 wins away from tying Clarence.
Right.
And Tom Morocco. I tell people all the time, fans should enjoy it now, because I don't think there's going to be another Paul Rodeo, another Tom Morocco, or another Dave Troiano. I don't think you're going to see people, it's just the way of the world today, come to a school and coach for 30 years and be successful as they are. 600 wins, that's 20 wins a year for 30 years.
Yeah, and you look at the winning percentages of these guys. St. Augustine and Middle, under their respective coaches, are winning at probably a 70% clip. Wildwood's winning twice as much as they're losing under Dave Triano with the girls. It's amazing. The numbers are amazing.
Well, you look at Coach Paul Rodeo, who's right in front of us at the scorers table. In 984 games, he's only lost 214.
Right.
You know, Tommy Faracco in 865, he's only lost 207.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, going back to Bryant.
And the thing about them, and both these guys and Triano, they can probably tell you about every loss. They probably can't tell you about
All
every
the
win,
wins.
but they can
Absolutely,
tell you
yeah.
details of every loss. Like I said, I think people in there, people here in St. Augustine, people at Middle Township, and people at Wildwood should really appreciate what they have, because they're not going to be here forever. And I don't see replacing them and staying in one place with the way the world is today.
And that was a great quote you had in the paper today from Dave Triano in that story, where he said, you know, talking about when he, you know, the age of his return, I'm not going to bring up, but how he, after a loss, he can't wait to get back into the gym and fix it.
And that's the one key thing they all have in common, is that energy to get back in the gym the next day.
All right, Mike McGarry from the Press of Atlantic City. Thanks for joining us. You can read
Thanks, guys.
You can read his coverage of the game tomorrow in the Press of Atlantic City. And it's 28-27, Middle Township trailing St. Augustine Prep here at the half. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. We'll come back to the start of the second half. Right after this on 98.7 The Coast and 987thecoast.com. St. Augustine leads Middle Township here at the half as we get set to start this second half. And you can tell, buddy, how big of a game this is. You know, on a night when it's snowing out, this gym's about 90% filled.
Yes, and this is not exactly an easy place to get to.
No, and it's not a small gym either.
No, it's not a beautiful facility.
By the way, we got to thank everybody here at the Prep. They really rolled out the red carpet for us here. They got us set up in a great spot right behind the scorers table. And Matt Ulmer loved it so much he took 2 trips up here tonight. Mike Greenman with the ball. Middle doesn't want to see Scott Greenman tonight. And here's the Prep with possession. Greenman on the wing. Takes the ball to the top of the key, runs a high pick and roll. Offensive foul. Blake Rossell dipped in and banged it into the chest of Tom Faracco.
And that was definitely an offensive foul. We'll give Tommy Faracco a little bit of credit. He put a little extra sell. He sold that call. And that is Blake Rossell's first personal foul. The 6'6" senior. First team foul against the Hermits.
And we're going to have an offensive foul called on an illegal screen. On Tom Faracco. Dribble handoff, and then he stuck his hip out and banged into the Prep player trying to keep up with Catanosa.
And that's going to be the second personal foul on number 22. 6'2" senior picks up his second. Team's first here in the first half.
Bastoria for the Prep.
Second half.
Gatto's back on the floor. Didn't play much in the first half because of some foul trouble. Sullivan, a baseline drive down the lane to go, and he got help by a good screen down there from Rossell.
Good job that time by the Hermits.
Faracco into the lane, turns, floats one up, no good. Rebound to Rossell. Prep up by 3. They get it ahead to Sullivan. He's bumped and fouled by Shelton. And Sullivan will go to the line for 2 shots. St. Augustine has matched its largest lead of the game. I believe they had a 3-point lead at one point in the first quarter. And now they can extend it here. With 6:52 to go, third period, as Dave Sullivan, who had 9 points in the first half, already has a bucket here in the second half, will go to the line.
And Brian, that's a big personal foul because Darryl Shelton picks up his third. That's going to be his third personal foul with 6:52 to go in the third quarter. Second team foul against Middle Township here in the second half.
Sullivan makes both. He's 4 for 4. He's the only Prep player to go to the line in the game so far. 32-27, St. Augustine on top. One thing to note, buddy, Middle Township only had 2 field goals in that second quarter. They've kind of gone a little dry here offensively. Here's Micah Moore, goes in the corner to Catanosa. Down the lane, he found a seam, and he got fouled by Freeman. He'll go to the line for 2 shots.
That personal foul, as you said, on Mike Freeman, his second 5'9" senior guard, second team foul. Coach Tommy Rocco was telling Tommy Catnoso should came to a jump stop. He had the angle, he had him beat. He comes to a jump stop, pump fakes, he's got an opportunity for a 3-point play instead of flipping up an off-balance shot there. So he misses the first free throw.
Second one rattles home. Middle's first point of the second half. It's 32-28, St. Augustine on top. 6:26 remaining third quarter. Freeman goes over to Sullivan right side. Sullivan looking in the post, goes to Russell, top of the key, swung left side to Freeman, picked up by Catnoso. Now it is Gatto on the right wing, guarded by Moore. On the left side, again Sullivan. Sullivan down the lane, no good but a foul. Reaching in was Sparacco from the side, and that'll send Sullivan to the line for 2 shots.
And that is going to be the third personal foul. Brian on Tommy Sparacco, number 22, picks up his third, team's third. And right now, Middle Township with 2 starters on the floor with 3 fouls each. Dave Sullivan misses the first free throw. He is now 4 of 5. Dave Sullivan trying to assert himself here by driving strong to the basket.
Second free throw is good. And it's a 5-point lead again for St. Augustine. 6 minutes to go, third quarter, 33-28. Here comes Tom Catnoso across midcourt. Goes to Jake Cowan. Cowan lobs it over to Catnoso on the right wing. Catnoso, crossover dribble, trying to get into the lane. Got the basket to go with the left hand. Strong move by Tom Catnoso. Freeman pushing quickly. Freeman down the lane, kicks. Sullivan for 3. Air ball, rebound, and a foul. As Bastoria tried to go up, and was fouled from behind by Cowan. It's not a terrible foul. Bastoria would have had an easy lay-in, and will go to the line now for 2 shots.
And Jake Cowan picks up his first. It'll be his first, the 6'4" senior.
But it's also already the 4th team foul on Middle. Bastoria makes the foul shot. That's his first free throw.
Obviously, close basketball games, free throw shooting in the second half.
The second one is also good.
Very, very important.
7 for 8 from the line as a team is St. Augustine. They lead it by 5 at 35-30. 5.5 to go in the third quarter. Catnoso right side. Goes out to Shelton. Shelton on the floor working against Sullivan. Along the baseline, dips in, airballed it from 2 feet away. Probably should have tried to use the backboard from that angle. Freeman goes to Bastoria in the corner as the prep has possession. Freeman, foul line area, kick. Sullivan traveled with it as he caught the pass. Excuse me, saw a wide open lane along the baseline. I think he got a little too excited too quickly.
Absolutely, he saw an opportunity to get right to the rim. But before he put the ball on the floor, he shuffled his feet. That being the 6th turnover. 4:53 to go here in the third quarter.
Shelton for 3. That's short. Rebound batted around, taken down by himself. Freeman with it for the prep. They have their largest lead at 5, looking to extend it. Freeman on the right side. Gatto in the post, knocked away from behind by Cowan. Here is Shelton. Shelton through the lane. Some contact. It's going to go out of bounds off of Middle Township.
And right now, play getting a little ragged at both ends of the floor. Both coaches, as Coach Paul Rodeo just ripped his tie off and threw it on the scorer's table. 35-30, 4:20 to go, third quarter. St. Augustine on top.
Freeman goes to Sullivan, picked up by Shelton. We're going to have a foul called against Cowan, holding in the post against Russell.
And Jake Cowan quickly picks up his second personal foul. 5th team foul against Middle Township.
Gatto enters it in the post, ball's batted away. Here's Middle with the basketball, up to Moore. Moore might have gotten away with the travel. missed the layup, got his own rebound and followed up and in. His first basket. 35-32, St. Augustine on top.
And Middle Township needs to get a stop.
Sullivan goes to Freeman. Freeman a deep three. Off the iron, no good. Rebound by Vasturia. Got the foul.
And a great job by the freshman that time. He went to the weak side of the rim, got the offensive rebound, scored the basket. Micah Moore picks up his third, team 6. Astoria goes to the line. Excuse me. An opportunity for a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Free throw is good. Vasturia's got 5 points, all of them here in this period. St. Augustine, its largest lead of the game at 6, 38-32. 3:40 to go third quarter. Faraco holding top of the key, flips it over to Cowan. Cowan on the left side in front of the middle bench. Hands off to Shelton. Shelton between the two circles now working against Sullivan. Shelton calls out a play. Bounces to Faraco. Faraco makes a handoff, goes to Catnoso. Free ball off the iron, no good. Cowan the rebound, but had it knocked loose by Vasturia. And here's Rossell with possession for the Prep. Seward over to Freeman, down low to Vasturia. Try to pass at the post, tipped away by Middle and out of bounds. Cowan a diving effort from Portland, couldn't come up with it. Middle Township now is going to call a full timeout. 3:05 to go third quarter, 38-32, St. Augustine on top. Back after this on 98.7 the coast on 98.7. All right, back in Richland at St. Augustine Prep, Brian Knipp alongside Buddy Tarbot on 98.7 The Coast. Video on 987thecoast.com provided by Matt Ulmer, 38-32. St. Augustine leads Middle Township here as we approach the latter stages of this third quarter.
And again, Middle Township struggled at the last 4 minutes of the first half offensively. Ryan, and those struggles have continued into the first 5 minutes here of the third quarter. The Panthers have scored just 5 points. St. Augustine was outscored them 10-5 in the period to increase their 1-point halftime lead to 6.
Rossell with it for the Prep, got it to Freeman. Freeman picked up by Catnoso. Freeman backs away to break a 5-second count, flips it over to Seward. Now it is Sullivan. Sullivan walks it back out between the circles. Vasturia to Freeman, baseline 3, off the back iron, no good. Long rebound to Catnoso. Fights through some contact, takes the ball to the right side. He's 1-on-3, so he stops, pulls it back, fires a 3, it's no good. Rebound, nice job by Micah Moore, knocking it out of the hands of Rossell. And then the ball went off of Rossell's foot and out of bounds, so Middle will retain possession.
That will be the 9th turnover against the Hermits, and that's what's keeping Middle Township within striking distance. It's the 4 turnovers by St. Augustine here.
Faraco down the lane. Prep coaches wanted a traveling call. They didn't get it. Here's Cowan. Cowan hands off to Faraco over to Shelton. One thing you got to credit St. Augustine Prep for is they've really taken the 3-point shot away from Middle. And we're going to have a foul here. Cowan missed the 3. Moore looked like he had his hands on the rebound, and then Rossell fouled him, and Middle will have possession.
2:08 to play here in the third quarter.
And now we have a question at the scores table about the foul call. 38-32.
Watch the shoot! Watch the shoot!
Occasion, the second number was a 4. 34 on the floor. Blake Roussel, number 33, is charged with the foul. His second, team's third.
2 minutes to go, third quarter. Middle trailing by 6, they have possession. Shelton on the right side. Gets into the lane, floater, off the glass, no good. Rossell the rebound. Got it to Freeman. Freeman, good look to Seward. Seward to the basket, got it.
Big bucket, great was able to get to the rim, floating around Tommy Cadnoso. Cadnoso picks up his first.
You got to credit the way the prep is defending right now, buddy. Here's your formula to try to defend a team like Middle Township, and it certainly isn't easy. And the whole thing is, sometimes I think, buddy, it goes away from a lot of defensive principles that are taught. St. Augustine is not playing a lot of help side defense tonight. They are telling their kids, you've got to be on the ball strong. And when kids go in the lane, you're going to play them straight up, because Middle Township's offense is so much predicated on dribble kick. And what's happening is the double team and the help is not coming when the dribbler goes into the lane, so there's no open areas for them to kick the shooters. And that's what they're taking away from Middle now. And the prep has the 9-point lead as Seward converted that 3-point play. It's 41-32. Ferraco, top of the lane, goes to Moore along the baseline, back to Ferraco. Ferraco on the right wing, goes to Catnoso. Catnoso to Moore. Moore to Ferraco, top of the key. Ferraco down the lane, little floater is short. He did a nice job of jarring the rebound loose, but stolen away by Sullivan right out of the hand. But he goes the other way and lays it in, and the Prep now leads by 11.
As you said, that time, Ferraco driving, throws up a little floater, came down with the rebound, and then Sullivan able to come up with the steal at half court. Take it the length of the floor and lay it in. And now with 1:12 to go in the third, St. Augustine with their biggest lead, 43-32.
Middle in dire need of a bucket. Catnoso lost the dribble in a bad spot, but eventually got it to Shelton. Shelton stops, pops from 17 feet. That's short. Good rebound by Moore. Right now, Middle's shot selection just isn't very good. Shelton trying to pull his way into the lane, lost it. Ball's loose, picked up by Ferraco, and now Moore has it. Hands off to Catnoso. Catnoso right side. Having trouble handling the ball. Now he gathers it. A good hedge and recover there by Gatto on a ball screen. Now here's Cowan. Got it out to Ferraco. 33 seconds to go in the quarter. Possession arrow in Mills' favor. Moore goes to Shelton. Shelton for three. That's short. A lot of Shelton shots have been short this evening. Siegel goes to Greenman. Greenman in the corner to Kennedy. Back to Greenman, and now the Prep wants the last shot with 15 seconds to go in the quarter.
St. Augustine will be more than happy to go to the bench after three, up 11 or more.
Greenman chucks it up, no good, but a foul. Backing into him as he was still airborne to Shelton.
That is a frustration foul by Darryl Shelton.
2.1 seconds to go in the third quarter. 43-32, St. Augustine on top.
And Brian, not only that is a huge personal foul against Shelton. That's his fourth. And it happens about 27 feet from the basket after Greenman threw the ball at the rim with not much of an opportunity for it to go in. So not only does Shelton pick up his fourth, but he sends Greenman to the line for 3 free throws. Just 2.1 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Greenman made the first two. Rossell checks back into the game. Third free throw is good. Saeed Nelson will come in and replace Greenman.
Greenman now with 5 points. He'll check out as he did at the end of the first quarter with a couple seconds left.
Ferraco slips and falls along the baseline. They've had some problems down there with moisture during his attempt to inbound. And now we have a delay as they're going to try to mop that up over there.
And again, that's the area where fans go back and forth trying to get into the bleacher seating. And obviously with the conditions outside, snowing, people are tracking in that moisture.
Ferraco lobs it up. It was tipped, stolen away by the Prep. A dominating third quarter for St. Augustine Prep. They lead at 46-32. Back after this on 98.7 The Coast and 98.7thecoast.com. Back at St. Augustine, Brian Kniff, Buddy Tarbot, and Matt Ulmer providing the video feed on 98.7thecoast.com. St. Augustine outscores Middle Township 18-5 after leading by 1 at the half. And they now enjoy a 14-point advantage at 46-32 as we get set to start this fourth quarter, middle of possession.
The first 2 minutes of this fourth quarter are going to be very important for Middle Township.
Cowan down the lane. They finally got an easy look at the basket. Nice set play there as it opened up for Jake Cowan, and he laid it up and in. And now St. Augustine is going to call a timeout.
Middle Township throws the full court press at the Hermits right away.
Keep it here for this 30-second timeout.
I mean, obviously, Middle Township now down 12. Coming out to start the quarter, they were down 14. Had a very good offensive possession, getting a clear layup as St. Augustine had a defensive breakdown in the back of their defense. They've been playing near flawless defense all night, and that's what has really clustered and given Middle Township problems. But as soon as Middle put the ball into the basket, they come out with a full court pressure because they need to get back into this game rather quickly. And again, the first 2 minutes of this fourth quarter are going to be very important.
Prep with the ball out of the timeout, leading by 12 still. Freeman got it up to Sullivan to the basket, no good. Now one of the officials actually fell along the baseline, but he gets up okay. Middle Township with the ball. Kicked out. Here's Faracco for 3. Middle showing life to start the fourth. They score the first 5. They get it back to single digits at 9. Gatto center of the floor to Greenman. Greenman working around the track. Fouled by Cowan. And that's going to send Greenman to the line for a 1-and-1.
Jake Cowan, Brian, picks up his third. 6'4" senior forward. Middle Township now will have Cowan, Micah Moore, and Faracco Tommy on the floor with 3 personals each. Darryl Shelton with 4.
7:18 to go. Middle's going to call timeout here. 46-37 Prep. Back after this on 98.7 The Coast and 98.7thecoast.com.
Because of the icy weather, instead of taking the back roads, it's encouraged that you go out and returning to the middle area.
Timeout. Mike Freeman will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Middle scores the first 5 points of the fourth quarter to get it to within 9. And Mike Freeman will shoot 1-and-1 here after he was fouled by Jake Cowan.
And Freeman already 3 for 3 from the line. He has 5 points in tonight's game.
Prep is 11 for 12 from the foul line. Freeman's first foul shot is good. He'll get another. And this is the dilemma that Middle faces, buddy. You're going to have to gamble and pressure, which obviously leaves you open to potentially committing fouls. And Middle is not very deep tonight. They've got some players in foul trouble. Freeman makes the second as well. 48-37. St. Augustine on top. Catnoso to Shelton. Shelton, head and shoulders fake. Pulls his way to the basket, gets fouled. Out on the perimeter.
That foul is number 22, Dave Sullivan. That's going to be his third. Team's fourth here in the second half. 7:08 to go. It's an 11-point lead for St. Augustine.
Catnoso into the lane, lost the handle, and now it is Freeman with the basketball for the Prep. Into the top of the lane, blocked from behind by foul by Catnoso, and Freeman will go to the line for 2 shots.
And the Middle Township bench, the coach is not happy with that call. Catnoso looking over at his bench in dismay, feeling that he got all ball, but nonetheless, sends Mike Freeman to the line shooting 2.
Freeman perfect from the line. He's 6 for 6. He's got 8 points in the game.
And that's a tough way to block a shot coming from behind as a shooter. Whether you foul or you don't foul, it always looks like a foul.
Second free throw is also good. Prep is 14 for 15 from the line tonight. And they're back up by 13, 50 to 37. Cowan on the left wing. Cowan to Baracco, top of the key. Dribble handoff to Catnoso, now for three. Rattles in and out, more offensive rebound. He's pushed from behind by Rossell. And it'll be just a 15 foul, so Middle will have possession out of bounds. Ryan Seward checks in for the prep.
And Blake Roussel, the 6'6 senior, picks up his third. So now out on the floor for the prep, Dave Sullivan has three, Blake Roussel has three, and Ryan Seward, who just checked in, has three.
Baracco right around the lane, went down the right side and laid it up and in.
That time, no help defense came over for the prep.
Rossell got it up to Sullivan. Sullivan driving to the basket, offensive basket.
Dave Sullivan saying he lowered his shoulder and Baracco beat him to the spot. That's going to be the fourth personal foul. Dave Sullivan, number 22 for the Hornets, 6'2" senior. His fourth, team's sixth. 6:25 to play in the game. It's 50 to 49. St. Augustine on 50 to 39. St. Augustine on top.
Middle with an opportunity to get it into single digits again. Shelton dips in, scooping layup, good finger roll. His first field goal. And we have a stoppage here after the basket. Now the prep will inbound. Astoria against the freshman by the middle. Got it into Rossell. Rossell along the sideline. He stepped on the sideline. And it is a turnover. With 6:06 to go in the fourth quarter. Middle, which was down 14 at the end of three, can cut it to 7 or 6 with a three here. Catnoso with it. For the Panthers, goes to Cowan left side. Cowan to Catnoso, right wing. To Shelton, top of the key. Shelton finds a seam, down the lane. Off the glass, it's good. Timeout, Middle Township. No, excuse me, not a timeout, buddy. A Middle player knocked the ball away, so it's a delay of game warning against Middle Township. The next delay of game resulted in a technical foul.
Middle Township now cutting that deficit to 7. It's 50 to 43 with 5:49 to go in the game.
Seward along the sideline, got it to Vastoria, trapped in the backcourt, finally got it to Freeman. Freeman flips it up to Rossell. And now Freeman gets a return pass, and the prep settles down its offense. Freeman down the lane, kicks across to Seward. Offensive foul. Seward banged right into Michael Moore.
That was an easy call. That just wasn't a good decision by Ryan Seward.
And again, that was the same kind of play that Shelton had called against him in the first half. I don't know if Moore was in great defensive position, but Seward just barreled right over it. And now a technical foul has been called against the St. Augustine Brett bench. I don't believe it was called on Paul Rodeo, the head coach. I believe it was whistled on an assistant. And now that's going to put Middle Township to the line for 2 shots.
Middle Township will go to the line for 2 technical foul shots, and then they will get possession of the basketball.
Baracco to the line. Free throw is good. We'll get another.
Rattles that first one down. 50 to 44, 5:28 to go in the game.
Middle right now is outscored the prep 15 to 4 to start this fourth quarter. Second free throw is also good. And now Middle will have possession, trailing by 5 at 50 to 45 with 5:28 to go. And Middle has done this in only 2 minutes and 32 seconds of game time. They were down 14 to start the fourth.
And that bench technical will be the 8th team foul against St. Augustine.
Here's Cowan. Hands off to Catnoso. Catnoso takes it right side. Dribbles the ball off his foot and out of bounds.
And again, good defensive pressure by St. Augustine, taking away where Tommy Cadnosa wanted to go with the basketball, forcing him to go a little bit wider and dribbling it off his foot.
Inbound pass knocked away by Callan.
5:14 to play in the game. It's 50-45.
Now Middle's going to back off of its press and just try to play tight man-to-man defense here as they're back in the game, trailing by 5 as the clock approaches 5 minutes to play. Here's Vastoria looking at the post, can't get it there, backs it away. Now Baracco comes out, puts some pressure on him. Here is Freeman. Takes it to the right elbow, lobs it back door, pass across by Vastoria, goes out of bounds. And Middle will have it.
And that right there, Brian, is just a freshman mistake. Vastoria tried to kick it out to where he thought he had a player waiting in the ring. Whereas on that right block, at his size, the 6'4" freshman just needed the power to the basket. He had great position, tried to be unselfish, but he would have at least drew a foul, if not scored the ball.
Baracco tops the key for 3, short, Moore's a rebound. Moore's had quite a few offensive rebounds in this second half for Middle. Here is Shelton now, top of the key. Shelton head and shoulders fake. Sullivan has guarded him tightly all night, but Shelton starting to heat up here in the fourth with a couple of field goals. Baracco holds, bounces to Shelton, top of the key. Shelton now turns and faces the basket. Head and shoulders fake to the rim. Layup, good.
And again, that opened up like a Red Sea. Shelton right to the rack.
3-point game. Freeman bounces it up to Gatto. Gatto comes out to Vastoria. Now it's Freeman again. 4 minutes to go. 3-point game. Middle is battled back to 14 down at the close of 3 quarters. Here is Russell. Russell holding. Brings it out. Puts it over to Vastoria. Picked up by Callan. Over to Sullivan. Guarded by Cadnosa. Sullivan on the floor. Sullivan takes the ball to the wing. Hands off to Russell. Russell carries the basketball. Possession to Middle Townsend.
And there's an unforced turnover, but nonetheless a turnover. And that is the 13th and 8th of the second half for the game against the Hermans.
I was about to say, buddy, Prep really needs to get another ball handler in the game, and they check in Brian Soon. Middle can actually tie this game with a 3 on this possession. They trailed by 14 4.5 minutes ago in terms of game time. Baracco into the post to Moore. Layup blocked by Gatto. What a defensive play by Gatto, and he is fouled. And Gatto will walk down and shoot 2 free throws.
Joe Gatto just showing great athleticism and body control as he was able to defend very well. Not only did he block the shot, then he comes down with the rebound, plays strong with the ball. That foul was on Jake Callan. That's going to be his 4th. The team has been at the 10-foul limit. Gatto will walk the length of the floor and shoot 2.
The Prep is 14 for 15 from the line as a team, but Gatto misses that one. 3:23 to go, 50-47, St. Augustine on top. The Prep had led 48-32 at the end of the third quarter. Middle on a 15-2 run. It was 46-32, excuse me, at the 15-4 run. Gatto misses the second free throw as well.
But they had trailed also 50-37, so right now they're
right.
10-0 run.
Yes.
With the ball.
Baracco with it. Foul line area, lost the dribble. Has to call timeout as he was trapped. 3:06 to go. We're gonna keep it here. 30-second timeout. 50-47. The Prep leading Middle Township. And
obviously, Middle Township coach Tom Frocco not wanting to run timeouts, don't have to, but really right there, Brian, that was a situation where Tommy Frocco, the player, got caught with his back to the basket, his back to the teammates, above the foul line. He couldn't find anybody.
Middle only has 1 timeout remaining, buddy.
So that there is a timeout you have to call or you turn the ball over. And again, the senior knows better than to be caught in a situation like that.
Middle has, buddy, 6 field goals in this fourth quarter. They only had 4 field goals in the second and third quarters combined.
Well, midway through that second period is when their offensive woes started and carried on through that third quarter.
Morocco having some trouble getting it in. Got it to Shelton along the sideline. Shelton walks it back out in between the two circles. In the corner to Callan. Callan cross court to Morocco. Fakes a 3. Down the lane. The layup is good. No backside help. A great ball fake. He went right around Astoria. It's a 1-point game. Here's Seward up the court. Seward in the corner. Trapped. Lobs it out. And Freeman is bumped and fouled. Freeman, what an athletic play to save that from going back court, and then got bumped, and will go to the line for 2 shots.
And Micah Moore picks up his 4th personal foul. So now Middle Township with Jake Callan, Micah Moore, and Darryl Shelton on the floor with 4 fouls each. Tom Morocco has 3.
Free throw by Freeman is good.
Nothing but the bottom of the net. Smooth shooting senior.
He is 8 for 8 from the line.
He has 10 points.
Second free throw. Ooh, that one's short. Rebound though to Seward. And he goes back to Freeman. Freeman on the right side. That's a bad offensive rebound. The Middle just gave up there. The prep up by 2. Seward on the sideline. Goes back to Rossell. Over to Freeman. Freeman backs away at the top of the key. 2:18 to go in the game. Prep leading by 2. Here's a steal, or attempted steal by Cardozo. He fouls Sullivan. And Sullivan will go to the line for 2 shots.
Dave Sullivan is 5 of 6 from the foul line. He has 16 points.
The prep, buddy, has not scored a field goal in this fourth quarter. Sullivan's free throw is good.
And that last foul whistle against Tommy Cadnoso. That was his 3rd.
Sullivan 6 for 7 from the line now. Second free throw is also good. And it's 53-49, St. Augustine on top. 2:13 to go in the game. Here's Cadnoso. Left side to Callan. Callan bounces to Cadnoso on the right wing. Head and shoulders fake. Into the top of the lane. Stops. Lost the handle on the way up. But Seward tips it out of bounds.
Tommy Morocco did a good job screening Seward away from being able to retrieve that ball.
Cadnoso right side. Inside 2 minutes to play here. Huge possession in this game with Middle trailing by 4. Morocco spinning in the lane. Some contact and a foul. Late whistle, but a foul. And looked like the correct call, buddy.
Yes, that was absolutely the correct call. His problem was, he was trailing the play and he swatted down. When you swat down from behind, the angle is, and he did commit contact there, as you can see how the ball was affected because he hit Morocco in the forearm. But when you're trailing and you try and block a shot from behind, the majority of the time you're going to foul.
Seward just fouled out, buddy, and Nate Siegel will check back in for him.
Seward picked up his 5th. He reached his quota. The 9th team foul against the Hermits.
Morocco at the line for 2 shots. He's got 20 points in the game. Free throw is good.
He leads all scorers with 21.
Second free throw all the way and good. And Morocco has 22 points, 9 for 9 from the line. And we've got a 2-point game with 1:46 to play. Rossell back to Bastoria, center of the floor now to Freeman. Freeman across midcourt. Freeman spins away from the double team, bounces it across to Sullivan in the corner to Rossell. Rossell holding 1.5 to play now. Freeman with it. Looks like Middle might trap the first pass here now. Tom Morocco calls out a different defense. Freeman down the lane, backs away. 1:15 to go in the game. Here's Sullivan now in the corner to Vastoria, who backs away. Vastoria threw it away. Stolen by Catmosa. Middleton tie. Take the lead with a three. Catmosa was stripped from behind. Ball's loose on the floor. We have a jump ball possession to the press.
What a crazy sequence right there. Middle coming up with a big turnover, then they turn it right back over. St. Augustine survives, they turn it over because they had the possession arrow in their favor.
Freeman flips it up to Sullivan. Inside a minute to go. Sullivan down the lane, got it to Vastoria.
Baseline, got under the basket, found Vastoria with the right block. Good location, good mindset by Sullivan.
Yep.
Vastoria went up strong, using the glass, the contact, personal foul on Tom Ferracco.
Vastoria misses the free throw. Still a 4-point game now. Ferracco, 50 seconds to go. Push Ferracco down the lane. Floater is good.
What a tough shot.
And now we have some words or something after the basket. And we have a delay here on the inbound. Vastoria to inbound. 43 seconds to go. Prep up by 2. Vastoria bounces it center of the floor to Freeman. Freeman got it up to Sullivan. Layup, no good. Long rebound in the middle. 35 seconds to go. Here's Catmosa. Stop. 4-3. It's going to be short. Rebound to Rossell, and he's back.
Tommy Catmosa made his first three-point shot of the night to start the game.
Hasn't made one since.
Now, he goes to 5, 1-6 for the game. Michael Moore just fouled out. He committed his 5th foul.
So Trey Greer will check in for him. Joe Gatto's going to come in for the prep.
Very big free throws right here for the 6'6" senior. Blake Roussel, his first trip to the foul line tonight. 29.1 seconds to go in the game. St. Augustine 55, Middle Township 53. Middle Township taking full advantage of their substitution time allotment.
This is Rossell's first trip to the line. Prep leads by 2. 29 seconds to play. 55-53. Free throw, no good off the back iron. So no matter what happens here, it'll be a one-possession game. Of course, Middle's got to secure the rebound. If there's a miss, they gave up the key offensive rebound on a free throw miss earlier in the quarter. Second free throw is good.
Nothing at the bottom of the net for Blake Roussel.
Here comes Middle, 26 seconds to go. Trailing by 3. Catnosa to Callan. Callan lobs it to Catnosa. Back to Shelton. 14 seconds to go. Middle's got to go quickly here. Shelton for 3. The prep with the ball, tipped out of bounds on the inbound by Catnosa with 3.9 seconds to go.
First three-point basket of the night for Darryl Shelton, as he has scored 9 points in this quarter.
3.9 to go. Here we go. Here's Freeman. Freeman across midcourt. Freeman. Floater. No good. We will go to overtime as Middle comes back from a 14-point deficit at the close of 3 quarters to force the extra session. And we are going to keep it right here. Middle scores 24 points in that 4th quarter after only getting 5 in the 3rd.
again, just after the third quarter, Brian, when Middle Township really looked zapped. They didn't look like they had energy. They ran that the midway through the second quarter, through the third quarter, very lethargic offensively.
Well, I'll tell you what, buddy. You know, we've been around Middle's program for a long time, and I just don't know of many teams that make as many big shots as they do in those situations. Shelton was short on every jump shot he took tonight, and he raised up from 23 feet and hit nothing but net when they absolutely needed it, and we will go to overtime here, tied at 56.
That's what they do. They have a mentality, Brian. They're like the old-fashioned Western gunslinger. They don't think they're ever going to miss, they're ever going to lose.
As Shelton, who had only 1 point through 3 quarters, knocked down 4 field goals in the fourth and scored 9 in the period, including that big three-pointer to tie the game.
And what it took, he got to the rim. He had some nice moves. Help side defense wasn't there because they were trying to take away St. Augustine, which was successful all night to kick out. So Middle couldn't get their feet set and start knocking down those threes. And Shelton took advantage, got to the rim, and that got him going.
He'll jump it up. It's Cowan for Middle, Gatto for the prep. Billy Martin, the lead referee, walks into the center circle, tosses, and it's won by St. Augustine Prep. Overtime is 4 minutes. Each team gets an additional timeout. That's big for Middle. They only have 1 remaining at the end of regulation.
But what also is big for Middle,
here is Greenman down the lane, in and out on the floater. Baracco the rebound. Middle can take its first lead since the second quarter on this possession.
That was a tough miss. Good move by Mike Greenman.
Pass stolen away by Sullivan. Not a good pass by Catnoso. Sullivan to the basket.
Shelton had no choice to defend because he's got 4 fouls, as does Jake Cowan and Tommy Baracco. So Middle with 3 players on the floor with 4 fouls, and that's what's going to happen. You're going to have to just give in and allow those types of baskets.
Baracco fakes a 3, jump stop, kicks out. Trey Greer for 3, off the iron, no good. And Cowan just picked up the foul, and that's a bad one. Blake Russell had that rebound corralled, and Cowan pushed him from behind.
And not only obviously got a bad foul, but that is Jake Cowan picks up his 5th. So now he is fouled out of the game along with Micah Moore for the Panthers. Ryan Seward has fouled out for the Prep.
Now Tappan Kerr saw a cameo in the first half to check into the game for Middle Township. 6'3" junior.
Blake Roussel gathered his 10th rebound. He is the leading rebounder in this game for both teams. 1 for 2 from the foul line. Big free throws, to say the least. Nothing at the bottom of the net.
Prep now up by 3, 59-56. Exactly 3 minutes to go in overtime. Marcel's second free throw is also good.
Big free throws for
Yeah.
the 6'6" senior.
9 points in the game. Middle in need of a bucket, trailing by 4 in overtime, 2:54 to go in the extra session. Here's Baracco. Stops, pops for a deep 3, knocks it down.
With a hand in his face, and Tommy Baracco said, "I'm taking this one," and that he did. And as you said, from deep.
Baracco with 27 for the game to lead all scorers. He's got nearly half of Middle's 59 points.
He might have shot that one from route 40.
Sullivan with the ball, lost the dribble, and now the Prep's going to call timeout. They were a little, that word that you like to use, buddy, discombobulated. It's going to go in the dictionary as your legacy, that word. 60-59, we're going to keep it right here. We're going to handle this overtime for this broadcast, buddy, like a hockey overtime, no commercials. 60-59. St. Augustine Prep on top. Inside 2 minutes to go in overtime.
And
out of the timeout, the Prep will have the ball.
And every time it looks like middle might be ready, might be wobbling, and ready to be put away by the Hermits, they just dig down, and then again they did it. Tommy Fracco with a hand in his face, knocks down that big free ball to pull his team to within one. And it's 60 to 59, St Augustine on top. Brian, we knew this was going to be a good one. I don't think we thought it was going to be this good.
No, you're right.
Overtime on a Friday night here in Richland.
And look to make sure Matt Ulmer dusts all the snow off the car first before he heads south.
Go out and get the heat on.
That's right. 2:15 to go in overtime. Here's Vastoria for the Prep. St. Augustine leading by 1, 60-59. Sullivan holding the dribble against Shelton. Sullivan down the lane, kicks out. Rossell, baseline drive, blocked by Kerr. Kerr got to Patnoso. Middleton takes the lead. Patnoso pushes. Patnoso backs away, goes to Trey Greer. Greer, dribble hands off to Patnoso. Patnoso over to Rocco. He's got 27 for the game for Middle Township. Patnoso on the left side. Patnoso to Shelton. Stops and travels.
Yeah, absolutely, Middle Township. Darryl Shelton got a little too anxious. The official and the coach have a little debate. It was, it wasn't. The guy with the whistle always wins.
Here's the Prep with the ball leading by 1. 1:25 to go in overtime. Mike Vastoria holding the dribble. Hands off to Mike Freeman. Picked up by Tom Catnoso. Freeman has been a rock handling the ball during this hellacious fourth quarter run.
Trey Greer almost came.
Sullivan, and we are going to have an offensive foul. Sullivan barreled into Darrell Shelton.
I was about to say Trey Greer almost came off with a steal out here just inside of half court. David Sullivan, yes, he is now the second Hermit.
And this is what happens here sometimes, buddy, in these overtime situations. It becomes a war of attrition. Who just simply has the better players left at the end of the game. 2 players for each team have now fouled out.
And as we pointed out prior to the game, Middle Township, without one of their starters for the next couple of weeks, Lamar Greer, who has a knee injury, 1 minute exactly to go in this overtime. 60 to 59, St. Augustine on top.
Here's Shelton between the circles, goes to Tanner Kerr. Kerr to Farraco. Farraco top of the key. Ball on the floor, kicks to Trey Greer. Greer holding the dribble, guarded by Vastoria. Vastoria giving him some space. Greer hands it off to Catnoso now. 38 seconds to go. Middle trailing by 1. Coach crowd on both teams starting to rise to their feet, and now Middle Township will call timeout. 30.4 seconds to go. 60 to 59. St. Augustine Prep on top here in overtime.
What happened there, Brian? Coach Fracco was trying to set a play up because he had good spacing, but his team, nobody was looking over to the bench, and therefore he needed to call that timeout, which was a good timeout. In a situation like that, when a coach, you have good spacing, all the players are right in front of you, the ball was out at midcourt, just inside. That's a great opportunity to set something up, but not if the guys on the floor aren't looking over to see what the coach wants. And that was the case there. Then obviously fatigue, the excitement of the game, the noise in this gym, the near capacity crowd, still one of the loudest, even though it's a brand new facility, still one of the loudest in the Cape Atlantic League. And Coach Tommy Fracco quickly calls a timeout. 30 seconds to go, and his team down.
Yeah, and 60 to 59, I think the key here, buddy, I think most coaches, when you're down 1, you want to go take the first good shot. It's a lot different than a tie game where you want to take it down and get the last shot. You know, this is a situation here with 30 seconds left. Yeah, I think maybe you want to just take the first good shot you get. decides to do. Trey Greer will be the inbounder.
And again, middle with Darryl Shelton with 4 fouls. Tommy Bracco has 4.
Shelton with the ball. Takes it right side. Guarded by Kennedy. Shelton down the lane. Where did he come from, buddy?
A great athletic move by Joe Gatto, the 6'4" junior. Very athletic, and he got up in great help side and swatted that one into the bleachers.
Catnoso now with it. 17 seconds to go. Goes to Shelton. He's had the hot hand lately. Shelton spins into the lane. Passes down low. It's tipped away. Greenman has it, and he is fouled. I think Shelton knows it, buddy. I think he would like to have that back and say, take this shot.
Yeah, he had a big spin move as he went into the lane, and I don't think he realized how much separation he created for himself. And he tried to force the ball down low to Tanner Kerr. And Kerr was basically getting ready for an offensive rebound because he was in good position.
Free throw is good by Greenman. It's a 2-point lead for the Threat. 5.9 seconds to go, so there's a lot of time.
9 for 10 from the charity stripe is Mike Greenman tonight.
I doubt Middle's going to try to call a timeout here. I think we're just going to get it and go. Greenman's second free throw is good. The Threat, though, will call a timeout. So it's 62-59 with 5.9 seconds to go.
Now, interesting strategy here. If you're St. Augustine,
You foul.
yeah, you foul. And take one, take time off the clock. You wait for Middle maybe to get the half-court area. Take half of what is on that clock off, if not more. Get it down possibly under 3 seconds to 2 seconds. You send Middle to the line to shoot 2. They trail by 3. Now, obviously, you got to rebound because the goal will be for Middle to make the first and intentionally miss the second one hard, hoping for a kick-out rebound. So, again, here we go. The 2 chess masters, Paul Rodeo, Tommy Bracco, with the boards out right now. Who's going to call checkmate?
Yeah, and I think it's a situation here, buddy, with 5.6 seconds to go. Might be a situation where the Threat, if they are going to foul, tells their players, let's let them get it in bounds, and then when they get to about the half-court area, let's come in and foul. And obviously, these are well-coached teams. These kids have been through these situations. They're all smart players. And obviously, if you are the Threat and you're going to foul, you're making sure you're going for the basketball. You certainly don't want to commit an intentional foul in this situation.
And as you said, these are both smart teams, well-coached, and you know they practice these situations. They practice end-of-game situations because it's very, very important.
Rear to inbound. Gets it to Catnoso. Catnoso is fouled at half court. So they did foul right at half court as we alluded to. 3.2 seconds to go. Catnoso will go to the line for 2 shots.
And again, the first one is the important one. Will make it a 2-point game.
2 shots for.
It's now 62-59, 3.2 seconds to go.
Free throw is good.
Mike Greenman picked up his 3rd foul. At this point, that's irrelevant. It's not a 5th foul.
St. Augustine now is calling timeout. You know, this is interesting, buddy, because there's 3.2 seconds left. It's a 2-point game. We'll come out of the timeout. Catnoso will have 1 more shot. If there was perhaps another second on the clock, Middle might tell Catnoso, make the shot, will foul right away, and then try to push 3.2. I don't know if there's enough time to do all that. So they may be plotting how to do this here. See, here's one of the advantages that a lot of people don't understand with the new free throw rules along the lane. You have 4 defenders in the free throw lane area and 2 offensive players. So now if you include the shooter, that means you have 3 offensive players above the foul line and only 1 defensive player. So the task at hand for Middle Township is one of those 2 players wants to get up on this missed free throw, if it's going to be a missed free throw, and try to tap it out where you have a 3-on-1 advantage out behind the foul line, and there would be, in theory, there would be enough time for a dribble and a shot or a passing shot.
Or they still do have a timeout. Middle Township does.
Yes.
So, I mean, there still would be time to call timeout to set up a sideline or out or under the basket.
What's interesting here is they have Shelton in, and he's Middle's smallest player. Tanner Kerr, who's the tallest and most athletic player for Middle, is out on the perimeter. Catnoso is going to try to make it, and he does. Astoria, they get it in agreement. He is fouled, and they only get 0.5 of a second off the clock. So Freeman will go to the line for 2 shots.
And Trey Greer whistled for that foul.
Middle still has a timeout remaining.
That's the second personal foul on Trey Greer.
Freeman's free throw is good.
He is now 11 of 12.
Kennedy checks in, replaces Gatto.
Mike Greenman, 11 of 12 from the foul line in this overtime.
Doesn't look like Middle is going to call a timeout. Greenman's free throw, no good. Rebound, and it's chopped, and it's going to be no good by Trey Greer. And the Prep survives in overtime, and they win it 63 to 61. And we're going to take a break. We'll come back with a bit of a post game right after this. 98.7 The Coast and 987thecoast.com. Top 63-61 in overtime as they outscore Middle Township 7-5 in the extra session. And again, they win at 63-61. It's their 11th straight win. They improved to 13-1 overall, and they create a first-place tie in Cape Atlantic National Conference with Middle Township, as both teams are 7-1 in the conference. Now Middle falls to 11-3 overall. Here are your final point totals. First for the Prep, Dave Sullivan had 20, Mike Greenman with 13, Blake Rossell with 9, Mike Bastoria with 7, Brian Seward with 7, 4 points for Joe Gatto, and credit Joe Gatto with a huge block shot with 22 seconds to go in overtime when Darrell Shelton looked like he was going to the basket for a layup that would have given Middle a lead. Gatto came across for that block shot. And Nate Siegel also had 3 points for St. Augustine Prep. For Middle Township, Tom Faracco with 27 points to lead all scorers. Tom Catnoso had 16. Darrell Shelton struggled through 3 quarters, was very instrumental in the 4th quarter comeback. He had 10. Jacob Cowan with 6 and 2 points for Micah Moore. And an amazing second half. The Prep outscores Middle 18-5 in the 3rd quarter. And Middle outscores the Prep 24-10 in the 4th to force overtime. It's just an unbelievable basketball game in really, Buddy, which, regardless of sport, is one of the great rivalries throughout the entire Cape Atlantic League.
Absolutely, Brian. And, that's what makes these games so much fun in the game of high school basketball. I mean, you can't get a better bang for your buck if you're out there and you're looking for something to do in the course of the winter. You pick up the newspaper, pick up the Wildwood Leader.
$3.
Yeah, $3 to get in here. $3 to get in here, and just these kids, both ends, did not let the fans down or our listeners. We're just very fortunate to be here to be able to call this game. And looking at the stat sheet, one of the big things for the success of St. Augustine tonight, they shot 18 for 36 from the floor for the game. They were 16 for 28 inside the arc, 2 for 8 from beyond. They had 22 rebounds as a team, 17 defensive, 5 offensive. They shot from the foul line, Brian. They were 25 of 32 from the line. They were 13 of 19 in the overtime and the 4th period. The Prep turned it over 14 times. Middle Township, on the other hand, they shot 20 for 50. They were 15 for 30 inside the arc, but they struggled mightily due to the Hermits really good perimeter defense tonight. They were 5 of 20 from beyond the arc. They had 19 rebounds as a team, 11 defensive, 8 offensive. They were 16 of 19 from the foul line. They were 6 for 6 in the fourth quarter and the overtime, and they too turned the ball over 14 times.
All right, and joining us right now is Mike Greenman from St. Augustine Prep. And congratulations on the win. I mean, you had to be thinking, you got to be kidding me. You're up 14 at the end of the third, and Shelton tosses, hit one from 25 feet, you're going to overtime.
Yeah, well, one thing that Coach always tells us is that it's all about adversity. Things are going to go your way. Some things aren't going to go your way. But it's to not get too high, not get too low, understand the game plan, and stick to everything that we've been practicing on, and just work through everything that doesn't go your way.
One of the key plays really in the game now that we have a time to kind of look back at it, 22 seconds to go in overtime, Middle's got possession. Shelton goes down the right side. He's going to the rim for what looks like a wide open layup. And Gatto comes in from behind and blocks the shot. Looking at it now, it's probably the defensive play of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Joe's an extremely athletic kid, and he's got a lot of blocks for us this year, and that's definitely one of the best blocks so far this season. And it's nice to have him behind you when you get beat by your man, to be able to block shots like that.
In that fourth quarter and the overtime, I mean, obviously, if there's a player on the court, I'm sitting there with Coach Rodeo that I want the ball in his hands to protect the lead to get to the foul line. It's going to be Mike Greenman, and he went to the line 10 times, making 11 free throws. And he hit 10 times, making 11. That would be an interception. You were 8 for 10 from the foul line in that fourth quarter and the overtime. Just talk about, you wanted the ball. You wanted it in your hands. You wanted to be the guy.
Yeah, it's one of those games where growing up, you always think about, like, I want the ball in my hands. I want to be the guy at the end of the game to make the big shots. And I got open and got to the free throw line, and it kind of brought me back to sophomore year when at the end of the game they'd give me the ball, and it's just started from there, and I'm just comfortable at the foul line at the end of the game now.
This was a game, I'm sure, you go down the courthouse and lose by 20 in December, and I'm sure you've been looking forward to this one for a long time, and obviously now a huge win in terms of the conference, puts you in line to at least tie Middle for it. And it certainly is going to help your seeding for the Cape Atlantic League tournament.
Yeah, it was a humongous game on a lot of different levels. We've been really practicing hard for this one. We wanted to make sure to get revenge. We lost to them 2 times in a row if you go back to last year. And we really wanted to get this one in our house. We didn't want them to come into our gym and beat us again. So this one took a lot of pride, and it definitely showed out there.
Well, and again, you mentioned about playing in here. Coming into tonight's game, you guys were 7-0. 6-0 in this gym. I guess last Friday night you played Absegami in the old gym. It's part of like a little bit of nostalgia. But at home this year, you guys are 8-0. That's something obviously to be proud of. And now, with a record of 13-1, that only lost, you avenged them.
Yeah, it's definitely with all of our rowdies, our fans. They give us a lot of support, and they call it the 6 man as a cliche, but when you have that many people supporting you on the court and wanting you to win as much as you want to win, it really helps out and gives you a little confidence boost out there on the court.
Now, everybody knows about your brother, Scott. He's a good free throw shooter. He's a great player here. But not too many people know about your father, Al, and what a great shooter he was, and what a career he had. Now, if the 3 of you get together and go, who's going to win out of the driveway in the free throw shooting contest?
I would have to say it's 50-50 shot. I don't know. I mean, we definitely have had our battles out on the free throw line, and I've won some, he's won some, Scott's won some. I like to think that I would win, but I would say it's a 50-50 shot.
If you shoot it as well as you did tonight, 11 for 13 from the line, you'd have a great shot in that one. Mike Greenman, thanks for joining us, St. Augustine Prep point guard here on 98.7 The Coast at 987thecoast.com. The Prep wins at 63-61 in overtime. Great job.
All right, thank you, guys.
You got it.
Mike. See you the rest of the way. Good luck.
Mike Greenman from St. Augustine Prep as they win at 63-61. And buddy, we were shocked when Middle won it by 20 at home, and I think we were probably shocked when the Prep was up 14 at the end of 3 quarters, and then we were probably even more shocked that Middle came fighting back in the fourth. But this rivalry's been unbelievable since I've been around it, I guess, for close to 20 years. You've been around it pretty much your whole life, coaching at Wildwood Catholic, playing at Wildwood Catholic, these games on the radio. This is like another chapter in the storied rivalry here.
Yeah.
The Prep wins this one in overtime.
I mean, absolutely, Brian. It doesn't get any better than when you get these rivalry games on the high school level. And, the Prep, the Hermits and the Panthers, they just go so far back. And it's a lot of fun to be a part of. Whether we were refereeing or coaching, playing, the ability for us to sit here and call the game on the radio, that's a privilege in itself. And it's just fun to be able to be a part of this atmosphere. And you know what? I think tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, we're going to have a lot of fun again.
Yes, we are.
We're talking about another storied rivalry.
Yeah, Wildwood and Middle Township. That'll be our next broadcast tomorrow night at 6 o'clock from the Warrior Gymnasium. And I say this, and having coached there for a couple of years, buddy, I still say Wildwood's gym has the best acoustics in South Jersey. When there's a big crowd in there and it gets loud, it is a place to be. It will be loud tomorrow night. We'll have the game for you on the coast. And we got to get out of here because I think they only have like one light on remaining in the gym. I think that's like our cue.
Hint?
Yeah, let's get out of here. So for Matt Ulmer, our video guy, for my partner Buddy Tarbot, and for Austin back at the studio, all of our gracious sponsors, an absolute classic. The Prep beats Middle in overtime, 63-61. This has been high school basketball on 98.7 The Coast and 98.7thecoast.com.